Hi, welcome. I'm Brenna, but my friends call me Sunflower. I want today to feel like a friend that's talking to you on FaceTime, who's been through it and who wants to help you get through it. We're going through the Burnout series and talking about the burnout recovery cycle that I've used in Burnout to recover. And burnout recovery isn't a one-time thing, so I'm back in Burnout and I'm teaching you guys all about it. So today I'm going to start with talking about how to notice burnout. This is step 2 on our burnout recovery cycle. If you missed the whole overview, it's a few videos back, so you can go watch that and the first one. Then this will make more sense, but otherwise, this is a great place to start too. And I'm going to talk about the 12 stages of burnout. So with noticing, it also requires a little bit of education into what burnout is, what it looks like, what the symptoms are. So for both of our cases today, I'm going to tell you the 12 stages of burnout, and then we're going to talk about how to compassionately, kindly notice the symptoms and the details and everything that's going on with your burnout. But first, we're gonna have some water because that's important in burnout. All the time, but especially in burnout, food and water are gonna be really important. Okay, let's get comfy. Okay, the 12 stages of burnout. I'm gonna put them on the screen too if I can. Stage 1, you feel there's a strong need to prove yourself. Stage 2, you keep working harder and harder to achieve this. Stage 3, you begin to neglect your own needs more. Stage 4, you are conflicted and blame others or the situation. Stage 5, you change your values to focus on work more. Stage 6, you deny the problems that arise due to work stress. Stage 7, you withdraw from social life and your family as well. Stage 8, your behavior changes and that upsets your loved ones. Stage 9, depersonalization happens where you don't feel like yourself. Stage 10, you feel empty and numb. Substance abuse can occur at this stage. Stage 11, you feel depressed, lost, and completely exhausted. And stage 12, you mentally and physically collapse into full burnout. So, all of that at once can feel a little scary, especially if you're in the deeper stages of burnout and didn't know it. So it's okay to notice when you're in burnout. We're not going to change anything yet. We're not going to fix anything yet. We're just going to take a look at what's already happening. That's not going to make it worse. It's just going to highlight what's already going on. You've already been doing it. If it makes it worse, it means it already was that bad and parts of your brain was probably covering it up to protect you. So that can't last forever though. And to recover from burnout, you have to know a little bit at least about where you're at. So today I'm going to talk about where I'm at in burnout. Stage 1, there's a strong need to prove myself. Check. Stage 2, I keep working harder and harder to achieve this. Check. Stage 3, I begin to neglect my own needs more. Check. Check. Stage 4, you're conflicted and blame others or the situation. Check. Stage 5, you change your values to focus on work more. Check. Stage 6, you deny the problems that arise due to work stress. Check. Stage 7, you withdraw from social life and your family as well. Thankfully, I've been doing pretty good at this. Stage 8, your behavior changes, which upsets your loved ones. Not as much. That has been starting to happen. And some of my friends have told me that I need to take care of myself more because it's affecting my relationships because of my burnout and my focus on work and trying to generate an income for myself in this time where I need support. I've not been taking care of my health as much, and it affects me, it affects the people around me. Stage 9, depersonalization. I haven't been experiencing that other than I have PTSD and CPTSD, different diagnoses in different manuals, but that happens on a regular basis, but I'm not having more of it due to burnout. Stage 10, I don't feel empty and numb yet. Stage 11, I don't feel depressed, lost, and completely exhausted, at least all the time. That can happen in waves every once in a while, but again, that's also symptoms of my other disabilities. And I don't think I'm in full burnout yet, but I was thinking I was around stage 4 and 5, and today, as we're chatting, I'm realizing that it's actually getting further. So I need these videos too. That's why I'm making them. I'm not just making them because I'm telling you what to do, and I am not going to be needing to do the same thing. Yeah, I'm noticing with you. So I'm trying to have self-compassion for both of us. Well, I can't have self-compassion for you. You're gonna have to do the self-compassion on your own, but I am trying to have compassion for both of us where we're at right now because you clicked on this because you want to notice too. And it can be painful to admit it. So, first thing with how to notice burnout in the burnout recovery cycle is to familiar yourself with burnout signs and symptoms. We just talked about the 12 stages, but I think having physical symptoms for you to note, that's going to be just a lot easier. Okay, here's some physical symptoms of burnout in case you're wondering. Maybe you haven't heard that burnout can be a physical thing at all. Maybe you thought it was just like a mental state that you just have to think your way out of. I'm so sorry, you can't think your way out of burnout. You need some support from yourself and probably others to get out of this. Okay, 10 signs of burnout. Can't get out of bed in the morning, hard to sleep at night, feeling irritable all the time, can't focus or stay productive, hating your job even if you used to love it, feeling like a failure, avoiding people, hard to get creative juices flowing, headaches or muscle pain, and low appetite. So those are some emotional and physical signs that you can look for, as well as those stages of burnout. And just knowing what those are, you'll be able to start looking at your life from a different perspective. As you're going through, you don't have to change anything yet. That's not the part of the recovery cycle that we're on. We're just trying to notice and give an accurate reading on where we are. I am dealing with a lot of chronic fatigue. I've been sleeping so much more. I've been struggling with low appetite. I've been struggling with procrastination on stuff that I'm excited for, like this video. I've been struggling on memory, brain fog, pulling things together that normally would be easy for me. And it's painful. because it's a loss of control. But what you can control is your awareness of it. So you're not losing control by seeing exactly where you're at. You're gaining control by gaining awareness of what's going on. Another thing that you can do to notice where you're at in burnout is ask trusted people about your faulty, I don't want to say faulty patterns, your burnout patterns, your financial, emotional, physical, spiritual patterns that are changing right now while you're in burnout. And maybe you don't remember, because we have brain fog right now. We have chronic fatigue. We're exhausted. We can't remember everything that we did because our brain is in survival mode. But someone around you might. So if you can ask those people what your patterns are, and then trust them when they tell you. One of the things that I like to say is, I don't remember that. Yeah. I'm in therapy for PTSD or CPTSD. Both. And one of my main symptoms is amnesia. No way, I forgot. One of my main symptoms of most of my disabilities is brain fog. No way, I forgot. I'm gonna have to trust those people. And that's hard. Especially when it's something that you don't want to be held accountable for. Why would you remember that? Why would your brain hold on to yet another thing that you have to do? It's not going to. If it's someone who's trying to make you change right now while you can't, is that a trusted person? If you tell them that you're in burnout and ask them what they've noticed that you're in burnout, and they're like, actually, yeah, you kind of suck right now, and I don't really want to be your friend. They might not be trusted enough to help you through this process. And maybe that's because they're going through the same thing and they don't have self-compassion for themselves. I'm not trying to put shame or blame or guilt on the other person who can't support you right now. But ask someone else. Because there's a lot of people in this world who want to support you. You just have to find them, and that's gonna be really hard. That's the hardest part, actually, is finding them. Because right now, most of them are not going to be anywhere around you. I mean, if it's, I don't know. That's what I've been hearing lately. You're most likely going to find them on the internet. That's where we found each other, right? Okay. Allow yourself to feel without assigning meaning to the feeling. When you're doing this noticing, you might feel broken. Allow that. Not because you are broken. I want to separate you are from what you feel. You feel lost, confused, not worthy. That's not what you are. You are intelligent. I don't know what you know, but I know it's something. There's not a person on this planet that goes around without interests. And if they don't have interests, it's because someone pummeled them for so much of their life that their brain hasn't allowed them to develop them. Or they're so hidden inside because of the same thing. So that's not what you are. But notice what you feel, because those are big signs. Because you're not supposed to feel unworthiness and devalued and dehumanized all the time. That's a symptom. That's not your fault. That's a symptom. People might tell you it's your fault. People told me that my depression and my disabilities are my fault. They still are. That I should be able to do this because they think I can. I'm doing all I can just to get here, to talk to you, to give you some information about what helped me, so that way we can do this together. Because burnout sucks, guys. But once you notice it, once you notice those symptoms, then you can work through it. You aren't going to bypass it by completely forgetting it. You aren't going to recover magically from this. I'm so sorry. It's not just going to get better all of a sudden one day because you had more money, or I don't know. You're going to have to ask for help. You're going to have to notice the ways in which you can't do something. And that's going to be a huge hit to your ego. It doesn't have to be. Everybody can't do something. Again, let's go back to disabled people. Would you tell a disabled person that it's their fault that they can't do something? If you would, that's a sign. That's a sign that you're telling yourself some lies too, if you're willing to tell another person those lies. You weren't made to be able to do all of this. All of the time, 100%. To do that, you will end up in burnout. I'm sorry. I don't want it to be like that. That's why we're doing this, right? We don't want it to be like that. So we're noticing the flaws. Unfortunately, with this, you also start to notice the flaws in all of the systems. The systems that keep us trapped like this. The systems that are scamming us, basically. Notice those too. All of it's important right now. Everything that you notice, that's how you can gain control. As you're noticing these feelings, data record any way that you can. This is going to be different from everyone. You don't have to write a journal. You don't have to do a workbook. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that you can record data. You can ask someone to do that with you. You can say, hey, I'm struggling with my burnout, and I need to text somebody how I'm feeling every day, and because I can't ever remember, and I want to be able to ask someone how I'm doing. Could you be that person? Like, just we can check in on burnout every day, or I could even send like an emoji based on my symptoms, and any way that you can is good, because you might forget this period of time, and that'll be okay too. Because sometimes it's good to forget the hard times. I understand why your brain forgets them. But those lessons are really, really important. What you notice is important. So maybe you're doing unlisted YouTube videos to yourself, or listed. I want to see your videos. I want to see what you remember. I want to see what you notice. This is what I notice. I'm sharing it with you. This is one of the ways that I remember is through my YouTube channel. I send messages to friends. I have, in my notes app, I have little notes. You can send emails to yourself from work or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to compile the data now. Maybe you take a picture every day. Maybe you take a video. Maybe you take a voice memo on the way into work or on the way home. Record what you notice. You're a scientist, and the experiment is your life. And you're in the phase where you're just collecting data. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about for how to notice your burnout is to trust your symptoms and don't ignore the small ones, because there's no such thing as a small one. If you notice, like, hey, when I do this, there's like a little twinge in the left side of my abdomen. Notice that. If you're like, every time that I'm feeling this emotion, I get a headache on this part of my brain. Notice that. All of those tiny little things that you start to notice, that is connecting you back to yourself. Just noticing them right now is enough. You don't have to change them. You don't have to treat them. Eventually, sure. But right now, you're just noticing them. And that's how you're going to get the control back. I invite you to watch the last video that I made about self-compassion. It's really important to noticing, because if you start to notice and you're having a lot of self-shame, it's not going to help you that much. The next part of burnout recovery cycle that I'm going to talk about is how to gather support. And one of my main supporters is my friend Kairi, and so I want to do a little bit of show and tell just before I go to the next video, and tell you a little about what they made for me, because I got them today and I'm so excited. So all of this candy that you've been seeing is from Kairi. They made me a big box, including, oh, look at this one. And this, and I just feel like the richest person alive. And I'm going to send them stuff as well, but it was just their birthday last week, and they're a disabled artist as well. So I invite you to go to the links in my description and find their shop and purchase something for yourself, because first of all, it's so cool. Second of all, they really could use your support. And they've taught me so much about how to support each other and how to uplift each other and how to find supports. And so I just really wanted to support them back and thank them for all that they made me, because you guys, okay, I'm gonna just show each one. I have to now. We're in it already. You guys can leave if you're just here for the burnout stuff. Thanks. Bye. Okay, now that it's just us, we're gonna talk about these. This one's endometriosis, because I had endometriosis and I got it removed from 17 spots in my abdomen. And in January, I had a hysterectomy for adenomyosis. This one is the disability flag and the colors. This one says autistic, because I'm also autistic. This one might be my favorite just because anyway. Oh, it's so stimmy. I've been playing with this one all day. This one is so funny. It says cowboy. He has a hat. They glued on this hat. And there's frogs. There's frogs on basically everything. And this one is for Curious Little Frog. That's us. We're the Curious Little Frogs. And it says curious, and then that's the little frog. You get it? Because it's a little curious little frog. Anyway, it's all so cute. And then this one says Bren friend, because I am Bren and I am friend. Also, there's me. Okay, there's other people who I currently support in the links, but also I am about to need a lot of support. I'm going to talk about it coming up soon. I'm not quite ready to talk about it, but if you can head over to my Ko-fi links, you can support what I'm doing on this channel, and that would mean the world to me, especially right now. So I love all of you. Thank you for being here. I wish you so much luck on your journey with burnout. And if you want to talk about what you've noticed about your burnout right now, please put it in the comments. We're in this together. The only way we're going to get out of this is together. I'm so proud of you. You're doing an amazing job. And that includes me later when I watch this. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.